Hey buddy, it's Miss Puggy here coming at you another Borderlands 3 video. Today I'm going to show you the black market location and I'm going to showcase each and every single weapon. So after I show you the location, we're going to go to Sanctuary just so we can see what each weapon can actually do. I'm going to show you the location in a few moments, but before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. You have no idea how much helps me out, and let's get into it.
Legendary? Whoa! No way, dude!
So first things first, it's going to be on the planet Pandora. It's going to be all the way in the Cathedral, which is the full name Cathedral of the Twin Gods. And the actual location of the machine, it's going to be right here. There's going to be some enemies that spawn over here, but I actually killed them. If you guys catch my last stream, you'll probably be very familiar with this area because we were talking about the protein source of the future being crickets and insects and stuff like that. It was a very fun stream. We were doing a challenge run for Atlas only. So if you guys want to check out any of my future challenge runs, they'll be all streamed on Twitch on the top right, and we'll stream other things in the future as well. So make sure you click that link and give me a follow. But here's the actual black market machine. I'm going to zoom out on the map one more time just so you guys can actually see it one more time. So it's just right here in the middle of the map, right next to the fast travel location, which makes this location very, very easy and accessible to get to. So there's actually going to be 3 items that you're going to see here. There's going to be the Vanquisher, which is an honestly not too good weapon. There's going to be the Blood-Starred Beast, which is a really good weapon. And there's one other weapon that is supposed to spawn here, but I didn't actually get it to spawn, which will be the Transfusion grenade, which is also a pretty grenade. I actually have it in my inventory right here, of course, because I'll showcase what each one can do. So you can get this in the vending machine as well. The one that you want to get is Blood-Starred Beast. It's the only one I would say that's actually good to get compared to everything else. But let's go to Sanctuary so we can actually test the items. So the first weapon I want to talk about is going to be the Doll SMG, the Vanquisher. We're going to start off with this one because it's honestly not too good, but it has a really fun gimmick. As you can see right here, it is one of the only guns that has increased slide speed, which allows you to go, as it says, 20% faster than normal slide speed. Now this gun can spawn in every single element, so you can take your pick on which one you want. It can even spawn in kinetic. The one I have here is fire elemental, but as I said, you can get any element, come in multiple zoom ranges, and as an additional perk that encourages the use of sliding, which doubles your fire rate and damage while sliding. So the damage increase while sliding is going to be a massive 200%, which is only additive, which is really good. Now I chose to shoot the Jack clone really far away only because I want to showcase the massive increases in damage and fire rate that you do get while sliding. One other thing I want to say about the weapon before we actually start shooting it, it can come in 2 firing modes. Since it's a doll, it's always going to have 2. There's going to be full auto and burst fire. Every single Vanquisher spawns with full auto and burst fire. The only difference is going to be the zoom level options that you get. Since we want to fire as efficiently as possible, we want to use full auto because we're going to be sliding around to deal the most amount of damage. It's a pretty good straight shooter. It deals very damage. But as I said before, the real shining thing about this weapon is when you're sliding. So when you slide, you're going to shoot a lot faster, as you saw right there. So each shot with crit was only dealing about 736, but while sliding, you'll notice that our damage gets a lot higher. But let me try to get a crit real quick. So we're dealing like 2 million damage, 1 million damage, so it's a lot more damage while sliding. And as you can hear, this is normal firing, and then when we start sliding, it's a lot faster. So the fire rate perk while sliding is really good. It's a pretty niche weapon. Besides that, it doesn't really have anything that really shines about it, but it's a very fun weapon that you can use. You can also use the increased 20% slide distance to, in theory, allow you to run faster for a speed run if you wanted to. So I'll show right here, I'm at the very edge of the stair. The character model is kind of bouncing up and down, so I'm going to slide with this, and our marker is going to be right here, right at the edge of the orange arrow. I'm going to do that one more time without the weapon equipped, and we're going to just get right about here at the corner of the arrow and the text box. So the 20% does help a little bit, and if you add that on top of a snowdrift, you know, that can be really helpful. The next item I want to showcase is going to be the Transfusion longbow, but this grenade can also spawn in non-kinetic in every single element, which is very nice. It can spawn in homing, longbow, lobbed, and then its special property, it allows you to, when you deal damage with it, you'll get HP back, and then when you hit shields with it, you'll get 6% of your shield back. Now, a common misunderstanding with this grenade is that you think that's going to heal your shields 100% of the time, no matter what you hit, but you actually have to hit shields to get shield HP back. You also only heal your HP based on the HP damage that you deal. So if you're hitting a shield, you won't heal your HP, and if you're hitting HP, you won't heal your shield. So you got to make sure to use it like that. It's a bit wonky. There's better lifesteal items to use, but you can use it for that factor. It Doesn't really do too much damage, but since you're dealing millions of damage, your shield or HP will get restored really, really quickly. It's not really worth getting. I wouldn't honestly spend your black market money since it's like $50 million to get, so I definitely wouldn't recommend getting Transfusion Grenade. You can definitely use your money on something else. And that brings us to our next weapon, which is the shining thing in this black market machine, is the Blood-Starved Beast. Now, the Blood-Starved Beast is considered one of the better guns in the game. It's considered very high meta, but the cool thing about this weapon is that when you shoot with it, it shoots orbs that can penetrate, and then those can explode, which deals lots of damage. You're going to see most of your damage when those penetrating orbs actually explode. But this weapon can spawn in every single element, but it cannot spawn in non-elemental, so it's all equal chance of 20% chance of getting every single element. Since it deals splash damage, most people try to synergize it with a splash anointment, but this gun cannot spawn in any splash anointments, so don't worry about farming for that or re-rolling for that. Don't waste your iridium. Now, this gun will always shoot either 2 or 3 projectiles every time you shoot it. Right here, the one we have is listed as 2 times, so it only shoots 2 projectiles, but we have an Infernal Wish, so you'll see 3 projectiles instead. There's going to be 2 firing options on here. Since it's a doll, it's going to be full auto and then a burst fire. Once again, these 2 modes will change the zoom. Of course, you want to use full auto, generally for the most DPS. This gun can also spawn in semi-auto, so there's technically 3 firing modes that you can actually find on the weapon, but you want to try to get one with full auto. There is a variant you can find without full auto, so make sure to try to get the one with full auto, which will generally be the ones that have the fire rate of 11.02. Now, it's going to be hard to see the explosion with my Moze due to the fact that we have short fuse, so I'm going to respec my character so you can actually see the explosions, but I just want to show you how much damage it can deal. It deals lots of damage, and I don't have any anointments active, but if I did have anointments active and other things, we're going to deal a lot more damage, especially if we hit for crits. So with that active, we're dealing about almost like 1 million per shot, which is really, really huge, especially when we get the piercing orbs to actually explode, which is really, really good. And if we were to go for headshots, we're going to deal up to 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, around there. Lots and lots of damage. So let me respec my short fuse so you can actually see the explosions baseline without short fuse explosions. So I just respec'd my skill tree. I don't have anything active, and pretty much you're going to see the explosions are little puffs of red. Of course, when you have your graphics up, it's going to look a lot better. But even without any skill tree points, we're dealing lots of damage, and those explosions are dealing 2 million damage per explosion, and the bullets themselves are dealing 459k, which is really, really huge, and we downed ourselves with the Infernal Wish by accident. But the damage that you can deal with this is absolutely crazy. It deals lots of damage, and I'm actually going to go to Graveward just so I can show you how much damage we can deal in a short amount of time with this weapon. And as a special treat, I'm actually going to show you how much damage we can deal with the Vanquisher. Of course, we're on Moze, so even the crappiest of weapons can seem really good, but just to see how much damage we can deal with the Vanquisher, we'll do that as well. And just like any of our other black market showcasing, I'm going to put debuffs on the Great Boss, and then I'm going to put Elemental Projector, and then we have the ability of Enter Exit Iron Bear, so we're going to deal lots of damage to the Graveward really quickly. I didn't mean to stutter so bad, but I was just surprised how quickly we killed him. I knew the weapon was good, but I was surprised how much damage we dealt there for a few seconds there. But you can see how much damage the Blood-Starved Beast can deal. Now let's see how much damage the Vanquisher can actually deal, and hopefully not stutter this time. And we're going to do the same setup, but instead I'm going to Enter Exit Iron Bear here and then proc Elemental Projector without any debuffs, just so we can get the sliding action immediately as we get onto the ground. Now the damage we're doing here is actually really good, but it's only during when sliding, so the damage of the gun is really good, but you have to be really good at sliding to be able to optimize how much damage you're dealing. So if you're not sliding, you're not going to deal like any good damage, but if you're sliding, you can deal like decent amount of damage. As I shown right there, we killed Graveward without using the arm setup or anything, and we did it a bit rushed without any debuffs on the enemy. So definitely the Vanquisher is a great weapon, but only if you're good at sliding, and you can only slide for about 2 seconds every once in a while, so it's a bit hard to really use. But if you can get a hang of the sliding, you can definitely deal lots and lots of damage to enemies that don't move much, like Graveward. But for console players, I wouldn't imagine it being easy, so it's definitely an okay weapon besides that. Definitely don't get the Transfusion Grenade. Get the Vanquisher if you want to try a fun little sliding, tricky niche build, but definitely get the Blood-Starved Beast on any character you have, because Blood-Starved Beast is good on anybody and it deals lots and lots of damage. But as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I hope y'all have a great day. Bye-bye now.
And the last shall be first to immerse in a pass out heat. Facing him up with a moxie melt till he woke up drowning in tchotchke hell. More in a cave with a torch on a wall than a window arrangement of porcelain dolls.